Thanks. Thanks, Eva.
Yeah, thanks, Rashta. Yeah. Yes, you can move to the next slide, Emily. Yeah, so what we are doing right now, we are doing with tackling the waste, dealing with the waste, right? So we tackle the waste. That's all about uh, the big effort is coming through. Okay, so if you consider any organization, the type of waste you can see is like there's a multidimensional waste. Basically, one is physical, process, human, and digital. So if you see in any organization, you can see material waste, energy waste, water waste, process inefficiency is a waste, time waste, talent waste, data and digital waste, and service inefficiency. So actually, circular economy can able to implement in all these waste. But right now, what we are dealing with is material waste, energy waste, and water waste, where it directly impact the nature. So where CSO comes into a picture where they can easily stop and say, yes, let's have a thorough check on what we are doing, where we can how we can stop polluting the nature. Okay, so if you consider the material, energy, and water waste, or any kind of waste that you're generating in any organization, say a very simple example of plastic bottles, for example. Okay, so that can go for a landfill if we don't have a proper innovation or upstream innovation at the organization stage. So it can go to a landfill, which creates a solid soil pollution, and can reach the water, which creates a water contamination, and ultimately there's a pile up of waste in the landfill. They're going to burn, so again create an air pollution. A simple act, maybe a minimal step that CSOs or any sustainability leaderships can able to take it to avoid in their organization, like, yes, we'll have a check, thorough check. How can we improvise? I think many organizations now, they are not using a paper water bottles or paper cups, and they're replacing with a ceramic. It's a very small impact, but small initiation, but it creates a lot of impact because you're influencing the number of employees in your organization. Now, other way kind of waste, you can still implement circular economy, but it's going to improve your efficiency in the organizations. But what we are dealing right now is how it affects the nature. Okay, so next slide, please. Yeah, so the very popular demonstration of upstream and downstream innovation, where upstream is a proactive approach to tackle the waste at the source. Basically, during not only during the production, it's during the material procurement, material selection. I say during the conceptual stage. Conceptual stage, if you're able to address what is the waste it can generate going forward, that system is called upstream innovation. And not just it's not it's circular economy is not just end of pipe fix like recycling or a disposal. So focusing on design, system, and business model to eliminate the waste. So a sustainability leader can think on rethinking the packaging, rethinking the production of product, and the business model altogether, so that the burden in the downstream innovation that is going for recycling, disposal, all the stuff can be drastically avoided. And majorly, many of the cases, if you have a solution for a waste, you also have a solution for carbon emission. So many solutions that design out of waste also design out carbon emission. So it is directly connected. So that will help your ESG reporting, all the stuff. And upstream innovation can be achieved with three kind of initiations. That is by preventing waste, eliminating waste, and transforming waste. Next slide. Yeah, so considering the ESG and how ESG and circular economy are interconnected. So one, you all know, like environment, social, and governance. So one is with the environment, like eliminating the waste and pollution by design, lower carbon footprints, creating that will create a lower carbon footprints, and promote sustainable resources use. Okay, so this comes to environment, where social, creating green job. Okay, so how organization can benefit creating a green job? Because see, there's a clear survey from Indian Labor Organization. There's a huge a job is going to create on circular economy in coming future. Okay, so around 7 to 8 million of new jobs. So considering that, if any sustainable leader say that yes, we need to move towards a sustainability or move towards a circular economy in their organization, directly or indirectly, yes, is creating a job for someone who want to handle the waste very well. It could be through ERP, okay, or it could be many other policies going to come in future. So that indirect job creation can be done. Okay, and enhancing the product accessibility. How? Because when you use a product, you manufacture a product with used already a recycled product, so the cost, not now, maybe in the future, the cost going to reduce drastically and the product can be affordable for everyone. Okay, and building community awareness and engagement, this is very important. Maybe one leader in the organization can able to have awareness on circular economy, on sustainability for thousands of hundreds and thousands of employees. He going to impact his family and colleagues and friends. So that create a larger impact. So right now, what is the awareness that we are giving to our employees? That is very important. So that's where community awareness is coming to picture. And governance, as you know, like encouraging transparency in the supply chain, drives innovation in sustainable business model and aligning with ESG reporting. So coming to the right picture here, right side of the picture. So sustainability warriors, how we can impact the last mile influence he can do for a marginal workers, a sweepers, who deals with the wastage, who do the waste management, waste pickers, ultimately the planet. So never know. Like for example, a sustainable leader or a CSO who thinks like I need to design a product in certain way where it reduces the waste or the waste can be handled very easily, so is knowingly or unknowingly is influencing these people. So that is really really great, and it's coming in the social factor. Okay, so again, it can be done with recycling the packaging, recycling the product and business model altogether. Yeah, next slide, Emily. Okay, now what are the pathways for CSOs to drive upstream innovation? So mainly when we talk about upstream innovation, material plays a major role. Okay, so whether we are using a recycled product, or we are investing for a new kind of material altogether. Okay, so shifting sustainable, renewable, or recycled inputs, design materials that are easy to repair, reuse, and recycle. Basically, uh, the material which can be repaired. The manufacturing is no so complex nowadays. Some products that it cannot be dismantled. Okay, how can we dismantle easily and repair? Okay, how can we reuse and recycle? That is where it come into picture. And rethinking the design, rethinking design very very early stage, uh, so that it can be easily something called modular design you can approach, where you can easily dismantle the products, you can easily recycle it, you can easily replace a particular part than entire particular component or a product. So that way the a shift is required. Basically, upstream innovation, circular economy is all about a thinking. It's basically a mind shift. Thinking is shift in the mindset is very much required for any organization. So optimize system, technology and data. You can use a AI ML to predict what is the losses, all the stuff, and what is the efficiency that we can increase, and implementing a certain circular model in the business. Empower and upskill and collaboration across the value chain. These two, the last two parts, very very important. Where I already mentioned, like one leader, a systemic leader, can influence thousands and thousands employees in the organization, where in turn he understands circular economy on about the wastages, and he going to educate a lot of people. Okay, so where we strongly believe, EXNECO strongly believe in upskilling and empowering on this area, and collaborating across the value chain, like supplier, partner, and customer. It's not only the organization. You tell, like for example, there's a vendor in the organization. You can say that the vendor clearly what is the requirement they want. Now that is a pressure for a vendor at that particular moment of time, but there's a mind shift is going to happen for that vendor, and they rethink, okay, how can be I'm sustainable so that my business can be sustained. Okay, so CSOs can turn up upstream innovation into strategic ESG and business advantage, as I explained you. Emily, next slide, please. Yeah, so let's go for the real world example of upstream innovations. These are the very random pick. So Spinova is a company where they have a patented model where chemical-free process to turn wood pulp, agriculture residues, and even leather waste into recyclable, biodegradable textile fibers. Okay, so they're going to have they have already a waste which is being thrown to the environment. They are utilizing it. Okay? Then one Alshausen is a company where make a very high-end bags, luxury bags. Okay, they craft innovative vegan textiles from plant and recycled fibers. These materials are scalable, biodegradable, and designed as a direct replacement for petroleum-based products. Okay, so when end of the life cycle of a bag, so when you discard it, so usually it's a petroleum based. Now this company is replacing the product with a plant based. Okay. Now the another example is like GF Biochemicals. They have invented a chemicals for from agriculture waste and byproducts, achieving up to 100% reduction in CO2 emission compared to the petrochemical process. Okay, so now there's a small table in below. If you consider three businesses, Spinova, Van Olsens, and GF Biochemicals. Okay, I told you like previously, innovation, circular, sorry, upstream innovation can be achieved with three uh, things like by preventing waste, eliminating waste, and transforming waste. Can you just mention the name in the chat for Spinova, where it plays? It's they are preventing a waste or eliminating a waste or transforming a waste. Can you able to put a number in the chat? One stands for preventing, two stands for eliminating, and three stands for three for transforming the waste. For Spinova, what kind of upstream innovation approach they have taken? So Balaji says it's three, and Nitish say it's three. Any more answers? Yeah, transform is three. Venkatesh says three. Thanks for that. Yeah, so the answer is one and three, according to me, because they are preventing a waste as well as transforming the waste. By transforming the waste, they also prevent the waste. Okay, for example, agriculture residue, wood pulp, or leather waste. I clearly mentioned here leather waste. So, however, it's going to end in the landfill. So they have prevented it. So, according to me, the answer is one and three. Now coming to the Van Alshausen, very difficult to spell. Sorry. Okay, so uh, the plant-based, they have a plant-based leather substitutes. So what do you feel like? It comes under preventing waste or eliminating or transforming the waste? One, two, three. Can you just mention the number, please, in the chat? Balaji says one, two, three. Nixa says two. Anyone? Any more answers? Yeah, I believe it is two because what they have done. Yeah, Nitish says two. Yeah, because what they have done is craft innovative vegan textile from plant and recycled fibers. So they eliminated petrol-based products that going to be a very very harmful for the nature. So they have eliminated. Okay, completely they have eliminated the waste, and the clear answer is two. Thanks for that. And the last one from GF Biochemicals. What do you feel where we come up with like it's one, two, or three? Any answers, please? Three. Niksat say threes. Purushram say three. Yes, exactly. The answer is three because they are transforming the waste. Okay. Any more answers? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, the answer is three. They're transforming the waste, basically from agriculture waste to a byproduct, a feedstock, basically. So this is a very simple, very basic slide from my side for the upstream innovation. Thanks for your participation. Hope you got a glimpse on upstream innovation, and it's very basic. I know that. So we can have many more sessions in the future. Thank you. Thank you very much from my end. Over to you, Emily.
Thank you, Raku. And thanks all for the participation. So we have a few minutes left, 10, and we are coming to the end from the content side. We would like to have a Q&A, also a bit more discussion with you, and then also leave a few minutes in the end for the feedback survey. So just two other mentions on content tools. This is a very well-known framework, the 10R business strategies. Someone mentioned before, like the 3Rs, we evolved and we have moved forward to really seeing the whole picture of their 10Rs at this stage, how you can become very much circular with upstream innovation starting, that's the most circular part. And the lower you are in this R framework as well, then the more linear you're still staying in your business on your strategy as well. And then the circular business model canvas, we will share with you also this additional material. It's a guide that you know for sure the traditional business model canvas from Osterwalder and so on. Here we complement this view with think about the next use, what happens at the end with your product or service, which natural resources from the biological cycle you need to run your business, which technical resources you need, which energy resources you need are these renewable energies, and then complement it also thinking which are the positive impacts in all these stages or the negative impacts your business might still have. So this is also a very good tool for businesses. But yeah, to wrap up, just a reminder, we are supporting startups in Bengaluru in these different stages from incubator to accelerator to really scaling them with a catalytic grant facility, so more mature ones. And often we see combinations from big companies, open innovation opportunities to connect with startups that might have a solution for waste that you're not using, for supporting processes that you could do circular and so on. So that's why we put in the feedback survey also the connection if you are interested to connect with one of these to have an exchange. That's where we also are here and want to aim. And last content part as well, so circular economy has a big potential to be a circular business model that's also socially inclusive. So because the circular economy is run and done already by a lot of waste pickers, by informal workers, we see this in Bengaluru, in India, we see this in Nairobi, in Kenya, in many ecosystems. So you have this social impact opportunity because you can create jobs for informal workers or waste pickers if this is part of your business, if you have touch points, or you can address as a consumer target with these new markets, new products or services that are circular, a different type of consumer from maybe marginalized communities or from informal sectors as well, or include them in your value chain as part of your value proposition as well, how you source your input, how you can maybe add other micro entrepreneurs or startups. And this is also where this Circular Economy Innovation Cluster program has been focusing, has been experiencing different approaches. So also happy to share more if you're interested. Back to the question from the beginning. So is circularity and sustainability the same? Remember, I would also say no, because circularity here is a way to achieve sustainable consumption and production. So it's a powerful tool, framework, a lot of strategies that ideally, if we have this end goal, what is real sustainability? How can we make this planet habitable also for future generations? How can we make sure that we can continue have a planet where the economy flourishes, where we are resilient, where we have also the planet boundaries in mind and don't overshoot them or don't over have consumption. Circularity is a tool and a framework and a way of achieving it. So I guess you also know Peter Drucker, a management guru, which also stated very well that we focus too much often on efficiency and effectiveness, but there's a confusion between these terms on effectiveness and efficiency because what's the there's a confusion between doing the right things and doing things right. So there's surely nothing quite so useless as doing with great efficiency what should not be done at all. And this is an invitation to rethink the status quo, to challenge and our systems as well, and rethink how we run businesses, how we run the economy, and give this feedback: what is not working, what is missing, what policies are needed, what incentives, what taxes. Of course, the businesses cannot do it alone. We need everyone in the ecosystem, but your voice is here very important. So yeah, I will open it up for the Q&A. We have some discussion questions. If you have your own question, please share with us in the chat or just unmute yourself. We would like to know, does your business model or product or service have already circular elements? What are your opportunities and challenges to become circular? Do you have already maybe a focus on upstream, or are you focusing on downstream? Are you interested to get more upskilling in these topics? What areas of improvement are you looking for? I will put the questions in the chat. For our Q&A, we have around 6 minutes left. And also if you have one key takeaway for you today or one aha moment, what did you learn? What was new, or what did you unlearn? And we will put the feedback survey, which is mandatory, so you can receive the certificate in the chat. We want to know exactly if you have more feedback on the session itself, but on potential next steps of interest areas interested, if you would like to have a second online session, if you're interested in the startups, in upskilling, if working more with EXNECO, if working more with Climate-KIC and so on, please share with us. So I will put this in the chat, and the floor is open for your questions, comments, feedback.
Emily, before the question answer round, there are two examples from sustainable luxury, which I would like to share with the audience. If, like, we were talking about how circular economy can be profitable. So, if you look at Tiffany, they have pledged that by 2040 they will use only recycled gold, and the gold that comes from e-waste, they use it in their jewelry, and they charge it much higher to the consumers. The price is much higher than the usual gold that is got from the mines. So here, this is one example where in circular economy you can actually make money by using e-waste product. And there is also another example that is of JLR, which is using ocean plastics in its upholsteries, and that is also giving them a very good return. And so you can make profit through circular economy as well.
Thank you, Shrestha. Yes, big variety of sectors, areas, industries. Please let us know if you have any other questions, comments, if you have any aha moment today or key takeaway for you. And please don't forget to open the link to the feedback survey so you can also answer it and completing it for the certificate.
Yeah, please mention your name, full name, the way you need to receive the certificate in the survey.
The 10 hours. Yes. So Nixa has mentioned 10 hours as one of the aha moment. And are there any more?
Thank you, Nixa.
Anyone want to share how they are implementing circular economy or upstream innovation in their organization? We are happy to hear about that and learn from your journey.
Anyone wants to share experiences you have had so far in your company about circularity, implementing circular products or services, or challenges or ideas?
We have one question. How to come up with innovative thoughts to have a circular economy for the business?
Raku, you want to take this?
I would say a very good question. Innovative thoughts. Look around, like what are really the processes that at this point create maybe waste that could be avoided? What problems are also out there? Of course, solutions needed in the city, in the region, connected to real world challenges and problems. So which sectors are very important where you're operating and where your company, of course, you already have a value proposition, you have already product services, but how these, when you analyze with the life cycle, like step by step in all the phases and and processes, where is maybe waste being produced that should be avoided, or how can you change ways of the materials, the processes, the packaging, the water, the energy. It's really a holistic view in the end, and see where there are opportunities.
Yeah, maybe brainstorming with multiple stakeholders can give more ideas, because addressing a problem, we need to, we need to understand the problem first, so that we can come up with a solution. And whether that innovative solution is making sense, or it's creating a value proposition, that's very important. A clear brainstorming with multiple stakeholders definitely gives some idea. At the same time, it solves the problem. So the two checks is required, whether it is innovative, course, and the second thing is whether it solves the actual problem.